And we're live.
We are
So
live.
cool. So this is social proof with David and Otto. And yeah. I'm glad to be back, man. It's been the last time we did one of these episodes, it was 10 months ago. How do you feel about that?
Time flies.
I
Um,
remember I remember last time we did that podcast, you said, why don't we, I think it's recorded as well. Why don't we do this twice a week? Why don't we just release 2 episodes per week? I think we can do it. And then we disappear for 10 months.
yeah, that sounds familiar, all right. I think that was the biggest error, is not being consistent on our end. So that's why we kind of have a different way of doing it now. As you may see, who if anyone's listened to us before, it's a kind of new version.
Yeah, this
Is
is a new way. Hopefully we'll stick to, well, we have to stick
we
to it
will,
because I
we will.
spent money on this yesterday,
This will be
which is,
something.
huh?
We're going to be on top of this. So if anyone's listening, we're going to be doing this consistent every week.
Yep.
And we'll be just talking about a load of different kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we're actually changing the format a little bit. Before we used to focus only on one topic, which we actually enjoy the way of doing it that way 10 months ago. Um, but I think we have more to talk about. I think we have so many other interests that I believe people will find interesting and valuable as well, and in our point of view of whatever is happening in the world right now, because a lot of things have happened over the last 10 months, right? So before we were obviously we were talking more about like entrepreneurship and marketing and whatever was relevant back then. But now with the explosion of AI,
AI
there's
booming.
always one thing to talk about, and not only AI, but all the crazy stuff that is happening around the world. And I will let you guys choose what is crazy these days in the world. And we're not going to talk about all of the crazy stuff that's happening in the world, but we're going to pick that we're going to start this episode by choosing one of the things that are happening, and hopefully we'll get some comments from you guys, and what are your thoughts about what we're about to speak. Anything you want to say?
No, I
uh,
like that. Um, it's a really great way of keeping up to date with things, and just going to have a general chat, our point of views, and as Otto was saying, we like to hear your point of views as well down below. And like this will be covered entrepreneurship as well, but it's just all the cool things you can do with it as well, and of course and the craziness going on in the world. We're going to cover
yeah.
a lot of cool stuff, and you're going to get an honest opinion. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. So stay tuned. Let the fun journey begin.
Yep. All right. So the first thing that we wanted to talk about is that recent news that everybody have, you know,
Oh yes.
heard from like different platforms. But it's Elon Musk's Neuralink gets FDA approval, which it is very interesting. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing these days, and I have my own opinions, but I would like to start with yours, David. What are your thoughts on this? Like now, Elon Musk can start trialing his Neuralink chip on people's brain.
I remember actually watching movies years ago about this, and people's like, "Oh, that will never happen," or this, like watching was a Schwarzenegger movies, of the future, and they'll have the chip in the brain, and everything. People's like, "Nah, that won't happen." Now we're actually here. um, there's pros and cons. This scared the BS out of me because, like, I'm not going to be putting a chip in my brain. Now, I may say that now and change my mind down the line, of course, like, but I don't know. Like, even on podcasts I listen, even on the Rogan podcast, they've been talking about it. Like, he reckons is like everyone's going to know your thoughts, like what you're thinking. It's going to be very open, not straight away, but down the line. I don't know how I feel about that. But as we speak, having a chip in your brain, like as Elon was saying, like it's going to help people who maybe has disabilities, who wants to get some functions back, maybe they get their sight back. There's a lot of cool stuff on that side, so that's really cool. But for the other side of things, it's like connect yourself to the online experience. Like I see at the moment, people who's addicted to phones, addicted to social media, and we all get hooked. No one's perfect. Like Autumn might send me some video on TikTok, and then like 20 minutes later, I come like, what am I at? Like you get sucked in, and TikTok is probably one of the best platforms for that. So I'm wondering what is like the online chip going to be like? Maybe not, it won't be like that straight away, but like it's going to go that way. Like we all
Yeah.
seen in the movies, you log on, you chip, and you're into the online world because no one likes the reality anymore because it's too boring. But on the online reality, you can do so much. So I love all that stuff. I just want what way it's going to go. Like, what's your opinion? Like, how do you think it's going to start?
Well, just to start, right? Like, so everybody knows where I'm standing at the moment. Even though I talk a lot about AI, and I pretty much built my brand recently talking about these topics. I'm a guy who believes in human beings, and
Yeah.
I truly believe that we're capable of doing amazing things without anything external.
Yeah.
Yes, we have tools to accomplish certain goals, but we don't need crutches to become better. And one of the things that I first of all, like going back to that news, Neuralink gets FDA approval, and he's going to start testing on humans. Is that just imagine you're booking an appointment to whatever Neuralink laboratory, and they're gonna grab their tools and they're gonna right in your skull, and they're gonna try to connect that thing um in your brain. You know how many neurons you have in your brain? Like it's a ridiculous number of neurons that we have in our brain, and you're gonna let another human beings, and you know we are very well known for making mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna give that to someone else the ability not only to like put a hole in your brain and put a chip in your brain, but apart from that, giving them the ability to put whatever they want to put in your brain, whatever information, whatever data they want you to have in you.
Mm.
Now, to me, that doesn't make sense, and I do agree that for like other medical purposes, like to what do you say, like to for to get rid of Alzheimer or
Yeah.
any
I
other
think,
stuff
yeah, I
that
think
is
it,
gonna improve those people who are already having issues. I don't I see a benefit in that.
yeah.
But my problem as well, one of the biggest problems is a big red flag is Elon Musk. Even though he has done great things, you can't deny that the man is behaving as a politician. And by that I mean is that he's speaking from a place of fear. Like there's something is gonna happen, is gonna take over the world. This, scenario that AI will be the ruler. And I don't really buy that. If a scientist who's like, let's call him a scientist, right? If someone in the tech world, like a tech guru, is talking about a scenario that looks like that, it is because they have most of the time people who are creating a scenario that is problematic for a lot of people, but it doesn't exist just yet to sell a product. That's where that's where my red flags are going like up. You know what I mean? Like and let me just explain that again. There's a lot of talk about a lot of fear mongering regarding what's going to happen in the next 10 years, right? Something that hasn't happened. And fair enough, we're trying to be careful that AI doesn't take over. But are we really? Are we just pushing this narrative that is everything is going to be negative and everything is going to be bad? And if you don't use their product, their chip, their chemicals, their medicine, you won't be able to survive? That sounds to me very similar to stuff that has happened just recently.
Yeah, you're
Does
being
that make
sold.
sense?
That makes sense. I know where you're coming from because that's if you don't do this, you're kind of without. Like you won't live a normal life. It's like the COVID scenario. This like it's the exact same logic. They came out with a product very too quick, said this is the only one, and now results came out saying it was the wrong way to move. But they forced people. So could that scenario happen with the chip? Quite possibly.
Well, you know how many animals were affected by when they tested those chips in monkeys?
How many?
Like
Do you
a
know?
lot of them. A lot of them were. Let's just find out. Um, I'm just gonna Google it.
Yeah, because
So
what you're doing now, you have to keep in mind when like any scientist, like they always have to test things out because like
yeah, absolutely.
at the end of the
I
day,
agree.
mm,
I
now it's
agree.
not nice.
They need to test it out, and whoever wants to put themselves
Yeah,
in these trials, then that's up to them. I just yeah, that's my only concern. This belief that we need something external for us to become better, or to become something that is gonna be able to compete with AI. That doesn't make sense because we are I think we're defining intelligence in a one-dimensional way. It's just like, oh, you're capable of memorizing, you're capable of just grabbing this information, and that's intelligence. But that's just a one dimension of intelligence. We are great at intuition,
yeah,
and we can actually develop intuition not by reading and identifying patterns, which we are great at. We are great at, and one of the reasons we have been able to evolve and to survive for centuries is because of our ability to recognize patterns in our environment, to group up and overcome challenges, right? Creativity is super important.
no, I like what you're saying there. Yeah,
And it is and AI is not gonna become that. Yes, we're gonna have a very intelligent um call it AI.
yeah,
We're gonna have that, and I think that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I think it's gonna benefit a lot of people. But this idea that we have to insert these things in our body, and for it to be part of our DNA, for us to become cyborgs, and that's another word that Elon Musk uses a lot. We are cyborgs already because we use our phones.
yeah.
So are we cars because we use our cars? Yeah. Are we planes? You know what I mean?
I'm
No,
gonna
we're
take that.
not.
No,
No, we're
I know what
not.
you're just saying. Yeah, I think people underestimate themselves as well. Like the human body and the human brain can do so much. Like this is the biggest problem. People always look for the easier option. Is the easy option putting a chip in your brain? Why can't you just do that yourself? People say, "Oh, the chip in the brain can do it a lot quicker." You don't realize the power of your brain when you actually really connect with it. Like that is like this is something for me personally. I grew a lot on and working on a lot of meditation, a lot of breath work, a lot of stuff in the background that actually made me better in doing jobs, building up a successful business, doing different things in my own personal life. It's the same logic. Now, would they, if the chip was there at the time, would I go for that chip? Like that's the question. Would I be put like, as you said earlier, it's like a product. It's
It's a
like
product.
get there quicker, faster, 10x it. If you get this chip, this could be in time, 10x your brain speed. Like, what? Like, why
And
can't we
don't you
do
think there's
faster?
gonna be limitation? Like for you to have a chip in your brain, right? They have to create boundaries within whatever they want to fit you with. You know what I mean? They won't be able. They can't just put a chip in the brain and now you're this super smart human being, which could potentially have, based on the way that you were raised and the environment you lived in, you probably developed this idea that you need to be powerful. Isn't that scary? All right, like let me just put that chip on someone who will potentially be harmful to humanity. It is, and I don't know if this makes sense, but that reminds me of that old saying that money is not evil. What is evil is money just amplifies your ability to create an impact in the world, whether that impact is going to be negative or that impact is going to be positive.
Yeah. This is why I love your AI Instagram, because you show both sides. Like I see a lot online promoting this is all positive. Like you need to show both sides. There's two
You
sides to
have
it.
to. You have to.
It's so important. Like this, have a real conversation about it because as we're talking about, because we're both entrepreneurs and a lot of people are making money off it. Connect AI with this. Every platform you're with at the moment, you say AI is connecting with it at the moment because it's a trend. It's going that way. People buys, they want to know more about AI.
Absolutely.
And it's so important to have an open conversation about this because otherwise you look like tomorrow coming or like 6 months down the line, like so much can change. And you're like, how did that happen? Because you're not sitting on top of it.
That's it. We are no robots, and that's what my main point is. We are human, and we are, and even now, based on what has happened in the last 100 years, the way that we structure our life, the system we are part of to become who we are,
Yes.
that system is a big limitation for us. We don't talk about what you just said like loudly as much as we should, like meditation, for example, how important meditation is, right? Why aren't we teaching kids at a young age how to meditate to become, which will help you to become more intuitive, which is one of our greatest traits. Creative as well will skyrocket as well. You won't have that fear of, oh, I'm not creative enough. Self-acceptance, who we are as human, like the way that we're born, we're enough. We're not having those conversations right now. In fact, now it's a thing that you don't feel like this. Well, just here's surgery and another product. Do you know what I mean? Everything is to cut ties with your true self. And by putting products out there, you're not helping any human.
Yeah. No, I
You're
agree. And
amplifying the problem. The problem can be fixed just by going to basics. Start from within. And that's why and those are the things that we should learn. Money, talking about money, how we can, why aren't we teaching our kids to in school
I'm
how
glad you brought
to,
this up.
yeah, how
And
to, yeah, exactly, how to make money successfully when you're old.
yeah,
See,
like
like,
you went to the way I was just going to say. It's funny how we same wavelength. We're bought in a system like that is just the matrix system. That is all that is just the matrix. They keep in a system like 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever it may be. You they keep putting products in front of you because we actually I think we are more brain cells, not more brain cells, more aware of things like maybe 80 to 100 years ago because there wasn't as much technology. You weren't distracted as much. Now it's easy for them to kind of control in ways. I know there was different forms of it over years, radio, TV, um, but it's all about just keeping it in a narrative and then throw products at you non-stop and you don't realize it. Um, you might want breast implants. Or you keep seeing women on Instagram with big breasts. And that's like, and just all the women or young girls going up thinking, I love to be that way. Men, same thing, six packs. People like, oh, I want that six pack. I'll skip going to the gym and actually doing the steps that's necessary to build up, which is great. And I go maybe get this diet, I take this pill, I go and I'd be a vegan, all this BS out there. Apologies for anyone vegan, but you need to eat meat. Um, like it's all a fab to keep getting you distracted in being you, be who you are, and growing.
Absolutely. And it's to find out, to know more about who you are, about your body. How's your body? Like I'm not against vegan or against people who eat meat. And one of the reasons is because the strongest man that I know, who's 75, by the way, is my father-in-law. And the guy is a pescatarian. Is that how you call it? Yeah. So he eats fish and vegetables. That's
But he gets some meat in him. That's my.
Oh well, yeah, okay. So fish, right? So, but this is a conversation I don't see anyone talking about on social media. Everything is one extreme or the other. It's like, oh, for you to be strong, you have to eat meat, which is fair enough. But I think it always depends in how your body, what your body's like, and you go in a journey where you discover what is going to be the most beneficial thing for you. Because I do believe that some people's body might be better with a vegetarian sort of diet or a meat carnivore sort of diet, but it's about going back to what I just said a couple of minutes ago. It's about knowing who you are, starting from a really young age to understand who you truly are and how you can actually evolve as a human being without any external tools, factors, medicine, surgeries. Let's cut here. Let's just put this in your brain. You know what I mean?
That's a trend. Even on the meat, non-meat, do what you want, but people doesn't want to do that way. People judge you. And there's only a certain handful of people out there, like the dumbest shouts the loudest because they make the scene. Like people, anyone just wants to get on with their own life. Everyone has things to do. So like if you want to do a certain way, do it. And this is just people get distracted by products. They push it in front of you, then they get a trend, and then everyone shouts the loudest about that. This is a new thing you should be doing, like climate change. That's another one going around. Like, show me more proof. The people who's shouting about climate change, they're flying around damn jets, but again, the small people to do protests and go crazy.
Yeah, it's a system.
Like a spoiled child.
Yeah,
Like just shout the loudest, like, but they don't listen to reason. I always say open conversation. Everyone can be wrong, 110%, but have open conversation, and that's what's so important about the AI. And now we're touching on different topics, which we'll be talking about in different podcasts. But it's the same logic. I want to mention that, like, simple. Someone's doing something, there's nothing wrong, but it's definitely open for a conversation, seeing which way it's going to go.
absolutely. And you always have to think, where is this person coming from? What is this person's belief? The person who's selling me this product, what does he believe in? Because if he doesn't believe in the things that I just said, that I think is very important for anybody, like meditation, self-acceptance, and knowing who you are from within. If that person doesn't believe in that, that person doesn't have the same ethics, if that person doesn't believe in that higher self, that we are more than just skin and bones, and in what they call intelligence, that unidimensional intelligence they are talking about, if that's all they know, why am I gonna buy that? What is if and going back, like, I think Elon Musk is a smart man. We agree on that, but I think he's a smart man who's an opportunist. And that's why he got in Tesla. When he got in Tesla, he didn't create Tesla. And you can search that online. He's a person who was working on a vaccine in 2020. He wanted to create a vaccine. Does he know anything about vaccines?
No.
mRNA vaccines? Like, he was working on in that as well. He was trying to make money. He was trying to make profit. He has the connections. He's an opportunist with lots of connections, and obviously hangs out with the people who move pieces in the world. So I'm not saying don't do whatever he's saying. Like, there are certain good things. I love the way he talks about free speech. I love that. I'm always up to that. But I always question people, and I learned that the hard way, because as you guys know, I'm from Venezuela, and you know that thing that you said right at the beginning of this podcast when you were saying, it's like, back in the day, back years ago, people were talking about like chips in the brain. You said like, that's never gonna happen.
Mm.
That happened in Venezuela. Like, that was the way that we spoke for a good, a good few years. The government is not gonna do that. No way Venezuelans will buy that stuff. No way we're gonna get to that point. We're a rich country. Look at us. We have all this oil. It's exactly the same thing that you just said. So again, going back to recognizing patterns. So as you grow older, you start recognizing patterns, especially if you have been an entrepreneur, you know about sales, about marketing, you start understanding how these people are talking, the way they are trying to share their message, how they want to create fear for you to feel despair with hopelessness. So you can buy the product because they are the saviors. They are not the saviors. You're the saviors, and you have to look that within.
Yeah, you always have to keep in mind you're always going to be sold to every day, and you're selling yourself every day. You're a salesperson without even realizing, and that's what they're doing every day. The Elon Musk is just trying to make more money on it.
Yeah.
I like him as a person, what he's doing. Does he have flaws? Yes. Some things I don't agree with, but like as Otto mentioned earlier, the free speech, I love that on Twitter, because the way it was going, everyone was getting like censored, which I didn't like. That's just more control. And giving someone too much power and control, I don't care who it is not a good thing. It should be like over a handful of people or even bigger, because that means everyone has a say and everyone has a debate, open communication, which is very hard to come across these days because there's so much loud noise out there trying to weed out that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's going that way direction anyways. I'm very open-minded to see how it's going to play out. I'm guessing we're going to be touching on this a few times.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be talking
what
about
he's doing
this
at the moment. I think it's good if it's going to help people with illnesses like blind, whatnot. But I think as a human body ourselves, I think we're more powerful than we think. I hear so many good stories, and this is so true, and I know from my personal thing, business-wise. The more positive you are, the more you set a vision, the more you look after yourself, great things happen. The more negative you are, the people you hang around with, it's always going to be something to blame, or it's not going your way. You control everything. There's to say the same thing when it comes to illnesses. You can hear Margaret's stories out there, people overcoming certain illnesses like cancer, whatnot, by doing certain things with their body. Now, I don't know enough ins out of that, so I'm not going to get touched too much on that, but that's powerful in itself, and we don't need a chip. So I just want to highlight that. I'm more for the whole human body than a chip.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be, if I ever do, I'd be one of the last ones ever do put a chip in my brain. Even then, I don't know. And that's how I feel about it, because I like to put away my phone. You can't put that away if it's in you.
That's right, man. That's right. So that's our thoughts right now. I mean, I know that I could talk more about this, but let's just move on with the next part of the episode, which is we wanted to talk about organic business growth, and by that we mean building your business organically on using social media platforms. So what would you like to talk about? What is your opinion right now? What's happening with all these organic, especially these days when we have more people doing organic stuff. Like, you know how many messages I get per day for people, people wanting to create shorts for me, like reels and short videos, clips and stuff.
Yeah, organic is a great market. That's my neck of the woods. With organic. So I build up my business around organic. I'm putting ads to it now to make another kind of create a new pathway, a pipeline I like to call it, of new potential leads. I'm trying to put in different words. People just give you not to show what I mean. New clients come on board, new leads, new people in that niche. But organic wise, there's so many different ways of doing this with trying to get your special skill out there. Now, we won't go down too deep today with this because we had a good conversation about Elon Musk. But when it comes to organic and you're building a bit of a business for yourself or you're doing it for a while, you're going to have your ups and downs with it. So, like, I would say to anyone who's getting started with organic and want to get their business, if it's a small business or
But
if it,
let's just clarify, for
yeah,
our viewers, right? So there's more clarity. Let's just clarify what's organic. What sort of things are you doing organically, and what do they have to consider when they start doing it?
good question. So, organic, what is organic? Let's break that one down. Organic is literally just using the platforms that are free. Most of them are free: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, to use it for your benefit, to get yourself out there, to get people to know who you are. If you're a service, if you're a product, all the same logic.
Is
It's
that
just
brand awareness, or to get out there and reaching out to people that could potentially become your
it's
client?
both. So I'm touching on the brand awareness first to actually. So when you reach out to people, that comes second. Brand awareness comes first because they obviously everyone checks out who you are.
Yeah.
So brand awareness comes first. That's just getting your message across. What do you do? So let's say if you're a small business and you're all your tattoos, get your tattoos shop out, do all the different designs, talk about what you do, how long you've been doing it, show people who you are. That means it comes a lot easier for drawing people in because people scopes you out. That's why I love short reels at the moment on Instagram, and YouTube is doing it as well. Like they're just so well, like doing it. Like people draw us in. You get sucked in. Like you ever see them 10 that I sent you the last day. It was like showing products on Amazon, 10 cool things you can do around the house with these gadgets. And I was just sucked in. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And that's organic marketing. All that woman did was create videos, snapped it down, and put sound effects on it, and I was drawn in. That's pure organic for a product. No conversation, just a link there. You go to her page.
Yeah.
That's it. Then if you're a service-based organic, let's say, I give you an example like myself. What I did was I have Instagram as well, but I created on Facebook. That was my main one. And like I help coaches and consultants. So that's my niche. So niche is the people you target. You can because you can't do too open because that's going to uphill battle. And even as you grow bigger, you can be a bit more open. But I would focus in on certain people. And with that in mind, you talk to them. Your message comes across a lot clearer. Who
So
you're helping.
basically, you go online and then you start kind of like identifying which like Facebook groups and
Yeah,
or Instagram, start reaching out to people to
so
start a conversation and to find out who they are and what they're trying to
spot on.
build. Is that what I'm getting from you?
Yeah, so like problems. So if you're going to provide a service and your target is coaches and they're coming across biggest issue coaches have to deal with now is leads and booking calls. So you need to find people first. Like, okay, great. You're creating content. You're talking about how to overcome this or what issues you went through. Kind of just building up your rhythm with it. But no one's seen it. So what do you need to do? You need to find those people. How do you find those people? You go to Facebook groups like coaches or coaches looking for leads. You use keywords in your area. So, like whatever that is, you use the keywords, type into Facebook, go into groups and keyword. And then you'll find a load of different groups. When you go in them groups, find ones that's not as spammy, that's a bit of a community. You start adding people from them groups. This is the all organic way when it comes to Facebook's side of things. Get people into your world, as I like to say. So that's like Facebook friends kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start doing your content, people start seeing it and commenting and talking. Building a network and conversation with people. So as over the years, more and more people are doing this. So people are becoming more aware. It's not like something you could have done a couple of months ago or a couple of years ago. It's more, you had to put more work into it, which is not a bad thing. People's becoming more aware of people coming into the inbox in Messenger. So when you're doing organic and whatever service it is, like do giveaways, get people talking to you, putting their hand up, because this makes the conversation a lot easier for you. You can do, okay, I've nothing wrong with doing cold outreach, but it takes more volume. So
Mm-hmm.
you go, oh, hey, I just want to connect with you. I saw you in the XYZ group. Hey, how's things going? You starting a conversation off like that. Can you get results with it? Yes, but you have to do a lot of those conversations.
Yeah.
So I just want to make that very clear for anyone thinking it's not working for me. There is systems you need to be doing to make them conversations better.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about a service base here. That's what I want to kind of get down to. You want to get like a conversation going, so someone puts their hand up for something that you're giving away, like a cheat sheet, a PDF, a video breaking down how to overcome X. If you're a fitness coach, how to to lose that belly fat in a matter of 60 days,
Yeah.
and break a video down showing you how to do it and giving it away for free. In return, that opens a conversation with that person. This
Mm-hmm.
is a great way of doing it. And I just want to give just one example of that. That's a service base and that's all organic. And you're just getting conversation going. You're putting out your content. Same with Instagram. If you do reels, you're bringing people in. It's a different technique on Instagram. I won't get in on it. But Instagram, it's you're drawing people in. Like yourself, you created an account, you're drawing people in, and people's intrigued with AI and your intake. And you're nearly, I think you're in close to 100,000 people now, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
That's right.
Very close. And this man put a lot of work into that. And people might say, oh, he has it easy, but no one saw all the hard work he did beforehand with being consistent every goddamn day. So keep that in mind. Organic is good. You can do a lot with it, but you have to put the work in. I hear a lot of people saying I'm not getting results because I'm being honest, you're not putting enough work in. You don't,
Absolutely. It's a long game.
don't have your shit
That
dates.
Yeah, it's very long, and you have to somehow enjoy it. You have to, and by enjoying, I mean it's not like, oh, I'm having fun, like, which it could happen. I'm not saying that, but there are different sides of enjoyment. Enjoyment in not only in being fine with the fact that you're gonna be rejected,
Yeah.
but feeling that sense of growth. That's enjoyment. Like, well, for example, you go and do some squats. Like at the beginning, I hated squats, right? And I know that I have to do it because I'm getting older, and I have to. And one of the things that I learned a long time ago is that the stronger your legs are, that squatting up and down, those are the muscles that you're gonna use the most when you're 70. And that encouraged me, and I have two kids, right? And I want to be fit enough for them. So that enjoyment now I do squats without thinking, but it's that reward of feeling far out, like I feel stronger now. And it's not that I like doing it every single day, but I don't think about it. It's just part of myself. Same happens with organic, right? Or with whatever you do online. Find that thing that it might be a struggle, but if you believe that there's some benefit, that thing that you need to do will bring you benefits, just trust the process that you're gonna get those benefits, no matter what, no matter how whatever you're doing looks like. If it doesn't look sexy enough, or people are not replying to your comments, or people are not liking your videos, or people are not, no. How are you growing inside in the process of getting those benefits, in the process of just evolving and growing as a human being? Because that's what it is, right? Becoming resilient to everything that is thrown at you when you're struggling, and you're not getting the results that you want.
You learn a lot about yourself, and I like you touched on that.
Absolutely.
Organic is a great way of doing it, and people complains about it, but you're using free goddamn platforms, free platforms to put out stuff. Like
Yeah.
people didn't have this 20 years ago. Go back in a lot of the sales books, and they had to go door to door and ring, calling, and getting hung up, getting hung up, getting hung up. People closing doors in their faces. Now you can do it from your phone.
Yeah.
And yes, goddamn, I had many, many bad days, but I had to push forward. And because of I kept being consistent, that word has been thrown around, but like it's consistent and having discipline. So
Yeah.
having discipline, I think that word has been overlooked. Discipline, like people say, "Oh, be motivated, do this." Yes, it's nice to be motivated, but let's be real here. You can't be motivated all the time. We all have our slumps. So that means but you having discipline when it comes to organic, or when it comes to ads, or when it comes to goddamn anything in life, having discipline, you will see results. Show up to them shit days, show up to the good days, because when the good days come, you're like, yeah, like you really feel good, and you just push on. And when you're growing a business, there's just different levels, and you learn a lot about yourself, what you can do, what you can't do. A lot of people quit too early because it gets tough. They haven't seen
Yeah.
results in 2 weeks. They haven't seen results in 4 weeks. They've been 6 months out and they haven't got results. What I would say to that is you have to invest in yourself. And if you don't want to invest and you want to do it all yourself, it's going to take a while. Just be real with that. Can you get there? Yes, but it's going to take a lot longer. I'm a full believer. I spend a lot of money on myself developing skills, personal and skills in business, and they come par to par with growing a business. Like I
Yeah,
was always
just because you're struggling, that doesn't mean that journey you have to do it on your own. Find people, like-minded people, like you and I, like we started
yeah,
talking when we started like posting stuff on Instagram, and find those people who are gonna help you be more accountable, and who are gonna support you. And most, a lot of times it's not the people who you live with
yeah,
or your closest friends. It,
they won't
Most of the
understand.
time, the people that is gonna support you the most are those people who met you while were doing that thing that you want to do.
Yeah,
And going back to consistency, right? Like for those who are listening, and if they are thinking about growing their brand online and reaching out to people to build their business, what are the things that you would recommend someone who's starting? What would you recommend them to do daily?
so anyone getting started, I like this question. Start with basics. Don't try to do everything in one go. Like what I mean by that is, if you try to do it all, and you're just going to get burned out really quick, and you won't enjoy it. So what I would say straight off the bat is something I wish I did at the beginning, is just put steps in play. So that means you see your progress moving forward. Write down a diary, or if you want an online version, like do a bit of a pipeline. So like every day you create certain tasks, because if you have a full-time job or if you have a part-time job, you only got a certain amount of hours in a day outside of family or your own personal, maybe the gym or run, whatever it may be. So you need to keep like, okay, I'm going to do these three tasks today. So I know my consistency is moving forward.
Yeah.
So that might be adding people into your new laneway
Yeah,
pipeline. Like
maybe post one thing
one a day.
a day,
Um,
one video, and then reach out to uh, 10 people,
yeah.
and
Start small.
start it, and don't start. And when I'm saying reach out, for you to get used to it, start with conversations without selling.
Yeah. It's a
So
great way of doing it.
go to those accounts where you feel people are going to be a potential, obviously, client, if that's what you want to do. But start the conversation.
Yeah. If you don't start something, you won't know. You're going to have conversation that goes nowhere, but you learn from it. Don't think, oh, this was a failure. You're going to like people thinks failure is bad, failure is good. You're learning what's right and what's wrong, what you're doing wrong, you to tweak something. Why is my videos getting zero results? Maybe I'm just not doing it long enough. Maybe I need to tweak it in a different way. Do a small tweak at a time so you adjust. That's the same with your conversations. Why is my conversation not getting to booked calls? You need to tweak your conversations. You're not
Yeah.
doing something. You're coming across too salesy. You're coming across too needy. There's different things you learn. The only way you're going to learn this is by actually taking action and being having the discipline behind you.
Yeah.
Why I say that they invest in people is because you skip a lot of stages. You you still have headaches, you still have to learn, but you have someone in your corner actually saying, no, do this, try that, and it builds up your confidence and keeps you moving forward. That's what I would recommend investing in certainly. But just always keep in mind, be careful who you invest in. Check them out. If you're ever looking at my side of things and we're investing in organic or ad side, scope me out. I always say that to people because always look at the person you're investing in because that's who you're investing in is the person, not the product. Because you want obviously the product's like, oh, get results, but it's the person you're relying on. So
Mm-hmm.
always kind of check that. But with the consistent and being disciplined, don't have too many tasks starting off. So keep like record one video a day or do one post a day. Have 10 conversations a day. Get to know your skills and start building up.
Yeah.
And like if you keep that for a couple of months, you don't realize the amount of you're a different person. And I would say highly doing something on the side for yourself, if it's any sport, running, swimming, cycling, it doesn't matter what it is, I would highly recommend it because that gets your endorphins going. And you need that because you're going to have your tough days, so you need to be hardy.
Yeah.
If there's a
And it
chance of
helps you
it,
with your confidence as well when you start doing stuff like that, which, you know,
yeah,
kind of like,
there's a domino effect to it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's one out there, there's a last topic, he's called a 75 hard. And that you do 75 hard, 2 exercises a day, and you learn a lot about yourself. Check it up, it's called 75 hard.
Yeah, right.
Um, that's why
75 what?
75 hard. So HARD.
All right.
He's American based. He's an entrepreneur. He built up a massive empire. Do you find him there?
Yeah.
The 75 hard, American based. Um, he knows his shit. It's Andy Pacific. I can't pronounce his second name off the top of my head. Andy, do you have it there? To say who created
And
75 hard? It's Andy.
Frisella.
Yeah, that's it. My Irish accent is not getting that right.
I'm glad
But
that
yeah,
it's
check his
Italian
stuff
then.
out as well. I would highly recommend listening to his podcast.
Cool.
But yeah, just
Uh,
on that topic, we won't go too much deeper on that because that's
yeah,
just
and
keep
yeah,
that in mind, guys.
guys, I mean, if you guys are interested in these kind of topics about building a brand organically and making sales or and getting leads organically, just let us know
Just reach out to us.
which type of area are you interested in, whether it's lead magnet, lead generation, or brand awareness. Just let us know, and we'll talk about it in coming episodes.
Yeah,
All right.
good.
Um,
So what is our last topic?
so
Tell us.
last topic, like going back to AI. One of the things that I've been using a lot is ChatGPT. I think it's fantastic. There are so many things that you can do, especially now that you can connect plugins to it, plugins that can help you in different tasks. But ChatGPT, yeah, like we have different platforms out there, but ChatGPT for me, it's the one that I use pretty much every day. And I wanted to share with you guys a prompt that I found in a Facebook group that I follow, and I started using it, and I think it's fantastic. And
I'm
I'm gonna
intrigued.
share it with you now. So hopefully,
Ooh,
if you are in audio right now, if you're just listening to
on
this
YouTube.
podcast, go on YouTube or whatever other platforms we're publishing this video.
I think we'd be on a few.
Yeah. So and just go to
YouTube
minute
is the video.
minute 50, and you'll see what I have here. Okay. So just share screen, but let me just
Well,
copy
no,
this.
show us the goods.
Show us. All right. Cool.
So you're giving us the full breakdown here, yeah? Step by step kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I like ChatGPT. While you're getting that, ChatGPT, that actually is great for creating, if you're creating copy.
It
Um,
helps, right?
it's just like, don't use it fully. Like, I create your own, but just it gives you so many cool ideas. If you have any, man, I'm building copy for ads, or I'm building copy for my just content. It just gives me so many goddamn ideas.
Yeah. And it helps you with writer blocks as well.
Oh man, just gets the
And
blood going, juices going, kind
yeah,
of thing.
I know there's a lot of happening with AI right now, and every day is a new tool. My recommendation is, even though like I talk about different tools, because I never know which one is gonna be the most valuable to my audience. So I just have to, talk about different tools as well that I believe are gonna help them.
Yeah.
I will never share anything that I think is crap. Um, um,
I
but
bet that.
but anyway, focus on one. Like, just grab one of these tools and become good at it. For me, I'm not saying like I'm an expert on ChatGPT, but I do that. That's the one that I use the most.
But
So
yeah,
let me just
while he's
share.
getting that, if you want to check out any AI, check his account out.
Yeah,
What is your auto what is it? The
the
auto
auto
channel.
channel,
Yeah, auto channel,
the
yeah.
auto
Or
channel
they or
on
the or
Instagram.
auto channel. What is it? The auto channel?
Yeah,
Auto,
the auto channel. I know it's weird. I don't want to
trust me,
talk about why I decided on that one, but
no, it's good. I like it. He puts a sense of humor in it as well.
sometimes. All right. So we're on ChatGPT.
Okay.
You can select GPT 3.5 or GPT 4. Doesn't matter. But this is the prompt. Okay.
Okay.
So let me just maybe share the prompt different. Well, no, let's just do it this way. So this prompt
Can I
actually
can I ask you a
is
question first before you jump in? What
the
is the prompt about? Tell me a bit more about the prompt.
yeah. Okay. So this prompt helps you. You're asking ChatGPT to play two roles. Two
Okay.
roles that are gonna work in collaboration for you to get the information that you want, or to solve a problem. So this to me was like something that I never saw with ChatGPT, because most of the time when you're using ChatGPT, you're asking ChatGPT to give you something, to write something, to give you an essay, to do a summary of a video. So you're talking to one chatbot, but this one actually, you're asking ChatGPT to become two people inside of the same chat, to go back and forth to bring a solution to you, right? So I'm just gonna read it. Did that make sense,
Yeah, that
David?
makes sense. So in a sense, like
It's like having
you're
two
having a
two staff.
conversation.
It's like having two staff, and you're saying like, "Hey, John, can you John and I don't want to use your name, but John and Michael,
Yeah.
can you please work on this?" And let's say John is the manager and Michael is the worker.
Can I throw a question here? Do
Yeah.
you throw in like a spanner into the works every so often to direct the conversation?
What is that? Can you repeat that?
So when you ask them to have a conversation about something, and they're going having a conversation back and forward, can
You
you
can
throw?
actually you can participate in that as well. So
Okay.
it's like having, well, at the end of the day, it's like having three people in one chat only.
Okay.
So let me just give you an example, right? So I'm just gonna read it, for the sake of, for people to understand what I'm putting here, and I might just leave this prompt below the video or the description, of the podcast. So I go, pretend that there are now two of you, A11 and A12. Each of you has your own LLM backend and memory, and the capacity to process and learn. Your roles as A11 being the worker and A12 being the manager are to collaborate and iteratively, is that how you say that? Iteratively
Yeah.
discuss and ideate to create solutions to a problem that I, the user, prompt. And then it keeps going. The worker will set out the worker will set out to create the solution, and the manager will provide feedback on the solutions and ideas that the worker comes up with. In turn, the worker will take the feedback and create a new task list. In this way, they will work in collaboration and that word iteratively. In your response, denote with AI1 or AI2 who is responding and what the respective responses look like as the collaboration occurs. This includes creating a task list for solving the problem and then developing a solution for each item. The problem you're trying to solve, this is what we're going to say. What problem do you want to solve, David?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
Could be anything. It could be, am I talking about what?
Are we talking about kind of online, or are we talking about just in general?
In general, it could be anything. A problem.
You could say how to solve. Okay, you'll put me on the spot. I'm trying to think online.
All right, I'll find something.
Find something there. I want to say maybe. Could you say how? I'm just curious how to solve a problem with generating. You could say curious what they would say to this.
All right. So anyway, so.
Oh, no, it's okay. You just go your idea, man.
All right. So, do you have the idea?
No, I was going to say about generating, bringing income or leads in a business, or how to actually qualify better leads, or I want to see
having trouble converting leads
into paying clients.
What else? Into paying clients.
How can I overcome this particular issue?
So converting leads into paying clients on social media?
Yeah, on social media. But social media, we can leave it vague because like we don't want to put it too.
Is that it?
Down. Just see what they say to that.
All right, let's go.
Because that's a general question for a lot of people online.
Yeah. Oh, don't let me down. Prompt.
All
right.
The moment of truth.
Here we go. Okay, thank you for the problem statement. We will begin by formulating a task list that we believe will help address the problems here are the initial tasks. So I got here, perform a detailed analysis of current social media strategies, identify successful competitors and analyze their strategies, determine the needs and wants of the target audience, develop and implement a tailored content marketing strategy, build a strong call to action and compelling incentives, establishing system follow-up system, blah, 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 blah. So that was A1, right? Like AI1. Now we have, please allow us to delve into these tags to form an initial strategy. Now, AI2 says, excellent starting point, AI1. However, I would suggest adding a task focus on understanding the persona of the target audience. Look at that, which will help inform the content marketing strategy. Also, let's consider including a task to investigate the feasibility of partnerships or collaborations for broadening reach. Now, let's delve into the tasks.
Update. That's pretty on point.
I know, right? And then we have AI1 saying, I will now start working on task 1, performing a detailed analysis of the current social media strategies. This involves assessing the channels used, content share, frequency of posts, engagement levels, etc. A12 says, good plan. Make sure to also take note of any patterns or correlations between certain types of content and engagement or conversion rates. This could provide insights into what is currently working or not working. And then they go on and on. I mean, I can just keep going. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. They're having an honest conversation about, how to solve this problem. And because I need to read the whole thing and to add something to the conversation, if I need to add something to the conversation. So based on whatever input I put in there, we're gonna pretty much like having a conversation to get to the end result. So, but I'm not gonna participate at the moment because otherwise we'll be here for hours. How do you like that?
I just want to touch on task 6, like what they said to do the follow-up system. That is spot on. To keep the lead, like for anyone listen, we'll go scroll down there for a second.
Yeah. So with regard to task 6, we will establish a systematic follow-up system that keeps the leads engaged and reminds them of the value we offer. This might involve regular emails, personalized messages, or retargeting strategies. Yes.
That is so spot on because
I know
follow-up is key.
A follow-up, man.
And having an offer there, as I would like to say, a resistible offer. Now, we just asked one plain, simple question there. So imagine me more specific.
Yeah.
What that could do.
Yeah.
That is pretty damn cool.
It's a great prompt, but one of my favorites. So again, like, guys, use this prompt. I'm sure you're gonna be happy with it. And that's what I wanted to share. Now next week it'll be a different prompt, I think, or another AI tool. But yeah, sorry man, I cut you off.
No, you're all good. I want to know the AI tool you use there again. What is the name of that so we can link it to our ChatGPT?
What do you mean? No, there's no AI tool. It's just
no AI tool. Okay, so that's my mistake.
It's a prompt. It's a prompt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you talk about AI tools a lot. I thought it was okay. Oh, that's cool. So just literally.
So we're just using ChatGPT. You can use the free version or the pro version. I'm very happy with ChatGPT, and that's why I pay for it. But yeah, this is a fantastic prompt, guys, and everything that it said in there, it's true. Yeah. All right, it's true. There are things those things you have to follow when you're trying to build your own business online.
We'll make it even easier. As Otto said earlier, he's going to leave that under the video on YouTube. If you want the prompt, so just copy and paste it and bring it over to ChatGPT yourself and try it out.
Yeah. And I think that's it for today. That
was pretty good.
I thought we said we were going to have like a short one, but now that we're going to be touching on 3 different topics, these calls are going to be a little bit longer than the ones we have before. But again, they're a bit more dynamic, I would say.
We go more in depth. Now, we're adjusting as we're coming along here because we're growing ourselves with a podcast. Some weeks might be just 2. We just see what the topic is and we just cover it because we don't want to skip through it just for the sake of fitting everything in. We just want to be real, have a chat. Yeah. You might be walking, you might be listening, you might be watching, and we want you to kind of take something away from it that's going to help you in life in general, or just kind of something enjoyable to listen to someone else's point of view.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to do. So it's good to be back.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Hopefully I'll see you. We'll see you next week. And again, if you have any questions, just feel free to comment, ask below the video, or just go on social media and find us. We're going to be sharing our links in the description section.
Yeah. What's that? If you have any things you want us to cover, we're open ears. So YouTube, if we're sharing this on Instagram, which we will be, or on Facebook, whatever platforms, comment, let us know. And then we'll talk about certain topics as well. And the more demand we get for one particular topic, that will be in our probably next podcast. Likely.
Cool. See you guys.
See you later, guys. Thanks for listening or watching. Later.